Hey guys, welcome back to Embraced by Life. I'm your host Lisa, sharing with you our early retirement journey for myself, my husband Frank, and our dog Buddy. So it's been about a week and a half since I've posted a video. We've been extremely busy doing two things, one of which is pulling together our financial documents for our non-lucrative visa for Spain. The second of which showing our house like crazy and continuing to show. We had a few buyers come a second time around, no offers yet. So I will do a second video all about the home selling process here in central New Jersey and maybe get some thoughts and comments from folks as it relates to that separately. So look out for that video, which I'll do after this one. All right, so let's kick it off with the non-lucrative visa for Spain and the financial requirements first that we've been pulling together. All right, so that has been updated as of May 20th in terms of what's required for this visa. And so we went to our bank and we got some updated documents to show our joint savings account that we're using to prove the financial means that we have for the non-lucrative visa. And the bank was good enough to print off for us and sign and stamp. The stamp is really important. A piece of paper, a page from the bank that basically indicates our full name and address, the bank's full name and address, as well as the account number, non-redacted, full account number information, the names on the account, the date that the account was opened, and what they were able to supply was the average balance for the last 3 months. Now, the non-lucrative visa requirements do require the average balance for the last 12 months. So I'll talk about what I did there. But I took what the bank would give us, and I took that piece of paper that they signed and stamped, and what I did was I got that certified translated. So I did send that over to the translator. She got it back to us within a day and a half, and so that bank letter I have officially certified translated. And like I mentioned, it's got a nice stamp on there, it's got the bank name, it's official. I also have the business card from the bank representative attached to it. So I'm hoping that's sufficient in terms of the documents that I could get formally signed and stamped and dated from the bank. So that's one piece of paperwork that we got. So what we did secondary to that is we printed off all of the bank statements related to that bank account going back 12 months. So rolling backwards 12 months. I included August 1st statement, which was good because I printed it once August 1st hit. So it had the ending balance July 31st, all the way back 12 months. Then what I did was, because the technical requirement is to have the average balance for the past 12 months, I did my own formal attestation letter, which I typed up in English. I dated it last week's date. I typed it up. And I said, please see attached and below the requirements, the new requirements for the financial documentation for the visa. I indicated to see the attached bank letter, and then I said, because the bank doesn't supply the additional information you request, I am personally supplying it, and to the best of my knowledge, attesting to the information. So I attached all of the last 12 bank statements, and then I listed the last 12 months with the ending balance for each month, and then I did an average of those 12 months and provided them with my own calculation of the average balance for the past 12 months. I then took that letter that was written in English, I had it notarized and stamped by the notary, and I also sent that, once it was notarized, to the translator to have it officially translated as well. So that's what I did for that. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about all the other documents because some of them are kind of financially related too. But for the most part, those are like the detailed documents that we needed to get. And we had to do so just a week or two before our appointment. So that bank letter is super important. If you can get everything written out by the bank, that is awesome. I just couldn't. And so I'm using what we can, and I'll let you know how it goes, if they accept it or if there's going to be something we're missing. But again, we're just doing this based on what we've learned. and we're on some Facebook groups, and people have been super helpful in sharing their advice of what they've done specific to the New York City consulate. So I'm just sharing with you what we're doing. I'm not saying this is perfect, but that's what we know and what we're doing. So yeah, let me dive into all the other paperwork that we've got. We just went over it all this morning. So we feel pretty confident that we're ready, but I'll share the list here in the comments as well in case anyone's looking for the list of documents to bring with you to your appointment. And I will do another video and update the list if there's something that we're missing that we're asked for when we get there this week. All right, so the first thing we have is our passports, and they have to be valid for at least a year. So I mentioned in my other video, I got my passport renewed back in April. And you need to have not only original but copies of your passports. We copied the entire passport, all pages. So we've got a copy of our passports ready to hand to them. We made sure that all the copies are up to date with all the pages as they sit currently. So we've got that. We also have our state driver's license, and we have a photocopy front and back. I should mention all the photocopies need to be colored. So make sure that you color everything, copy it in color. So that's what we did. So passport, state ID, and then in terms of the financial documents, I just mentioned the two to you. The bank letter that I have stamped and signed by the bank, and that was officially certified translated. I have my own letter, kind of an attestation of the average balance for the past 12 months. Oh, and I should also mention it has the balance as of December 31st of 2024. I believe they need that as well, so I included that. I also included copies of all my bank statements going back the past 12 months, and that's what I have there. Additionally, because we don't have a pension yet or anything like that, we need to supply our federal tax forms, the 1040 forms. So we have pages 1 and 2 of our federal tax forms for the past 3 years. So that's going back 3 years, 2024, 2023, and 2022. Those are 2 pages each, and we did get those 2 pages for each year certified translated. We got that translated a few months ago. We also have the tax form 9325, which I understand the consulate may ask for. So that is proof that you paid your taxes, essentially. We got that from our accountant, and it's a 1-page paper. The second page is just instructions. So we just have page 1 with the details of our receipt of payment, and I did send those in to get them officially certified translated. So we have that as well. We also have our proof of health insurance. So we did get our health insurance. It is an effective date of October 1st. We probably won't even be getting to Spain until November, but we're putting down on our application forms a request to start our visa an effective date of October 15th, just to be safe. So we started paying for our insurance October 1st. It's valid for 1 year. It needs to indicate that there's no co-pays. It's 100% coverage, the effective date, and the policy number, and we have our receipt for that. The paperwork we have is in Spanish already, so we didn't need to get it translated. I did take a highlighter and highlight all the kind of important points on that paperwork for the health insurance that we have. So the effective date, the fact that there's no co-pays, 0 deductible, and the policy number and the receipt and everything is all highlighted. So we've got that ready. We also have our doctor certification. Now, that doctor certification needs to be in both English and Spanish. What we did was just use a template that we found online that a lot of people use. It's a 1-page. It's got 2 paragraphs. The 1 paragraph's in English. The second paragraph's in Spanish. It's a certification that you're free of any communicable diseases and that type of thing. So we had our doctor sign that, both the English and Spanish. He signed, he stamped it. Make sure you get a stamp. And I have his business card attached to that too. So I didn't get it certified translated. I didn't get it notarized. I'm understanding that this is sufficient, so we'll see. We did have to get that redone the end of May because it's only good for 3 months. So just make sure that that's been done within the last 3 months. So we have that. We also have our FBI background checks. Those we got done in April. They're good for 6 months. So luckily we have our appointment this week. Those you need to get your fingerprints done. And once you do that, you get your official certificate from the FBI for your background check to say you're clean and clear. We got that apostilled, and then once it came back, it is all together in a packet that's apostilled, and we sent that to be certified translated. So we got that ready, one for myself, one for Frank. We got one new certified copy of our marriage certificate. Now, I emailed the New York City consulate and asked them how long it's valid for, because I was afraid it was only good for 3 months. And they said it's good for a year. So I'm keeping that email from the consulate where they responded to me to say it's good for a year. So we got that in April, same time that we got our background check. And we got it apostilled, and we also got it certified translated. Same process as with the FBI background check. So we've got one official certified copy of our marriage certificate, which is apostilled and officially translated. So we've got that. We also have our application forms. So those we filled out ourselves. I watched some YouTube videos of how to fill them out. You've got your non-lucrative visa, non-working visa application form. And there's a link to that form on the New York City Spain Consulate website. So click on that link, it'll bring you to the form. There's also the passport photo that you need that is with gets attached to that form. So make sure you also have a passport photo. We've got like 4 photos of each of us. We just got double sets of photos just in case, but I think you only need one. So that goes with the application form. Then you have another form called Ep7. Now that form's a little bit tricky to fill out. It's all in Spanish. So again, I Googled on YouTube and found some great videos on how to fill that out. You need to make sure that you put your address in Spain that you're going to be residing in that form. And then the third final form is 790, and that's basically the form that you use to make your payment for your visa. It has 3 pages that need to be signed on it. The other application form in EOX only have 1 page to be signed. They're several pages long, but the 790 form for the payment, you have to sign it in 3 places is my understanding, so hopefully that's correct. Again, you put your address in Spain on that form, so not your home address here in the US. You put your Spanish address there. I put the full address of where we're going to be living in Spain, but I understand you can probably just put the town or city and province, and that will probably do it, but we put the full address of where we're going to be residing. And then we have our letter from our employers stating that we've retired, we're no longer working, our end date of employment with them, and that we have no plans to continue to work with them or to work with them in the future. And then we pulled together 2 documents of our own, and we translated it ourselves. So it's basically a letter of intent, which we wrote out, one for myself, one for Frank. Wrote it out first in English, and it just basically says our intention is to retire in Spain, and we can't wait to go there, and we've got the financial means to retire there, and we've got our savings account that we referenced. So that's our letter of intent. And then we took that and we just Google translated it into Spanish, and we got both the English and Spanish version of that letter notarized, and we didn't get it certified translated, we translated it ourselves, and we're using that. Hopefully that's good enough. And then we also have a letter very clearly stating that we will not be working while we're in Spain, and we certify that we will not work and that we truly are retired. So one's called a letter of intent, and the other is a letter of commitment not to work. So my understanding is the letter of intent is really why you want to be in Spain. You know, that you have the financial means, and that, you know, the reason for being there, and that you're qualified to go and to get this visa. the certification basically that you won't work is an attestation of not working. So that attestation of not working, again, we did it in English and in Spanish. We just Google translated, had it notarized. And when I say we had these two sets of letters notarized, we had them notarized the English and the Spanish. So you need to make sure that you get a notary who's willing to notarize a letter in Spanish, which we were lucky enough to find someone locally who would notarize both. So we've got those ready. And then we've got our form of payment. So we went to the post office and we are all set with our form of payment there. It's $153 that we got for that payment each. So you each need to get go to the post office and get a money order for $153. So we did that. Now, we didn't fill out the money orders. It was suggested by someone on Facebook, just don't fill it out. Let them fill it out when you get there. So we've got the money orders, but we didn't fill anything out. And then I'm just looking if there's anything else here on my list. I think that's it. So it's a lot of stuff. If you can think of something I might be missing, if you've gone to your appointment recently, throw some comments in here for me. I'd love to know if there's something we're missing. And if not, I'll share with you our list of what we've got, and then we will give you a follow-up video from our appointment, tell you how it goes. We plan to pull out of here really early in the morning for our appointment. It's at 8:45 in the morning. So yeah, we'll let you know how that goes. Getting a little nervous, but hopefully we have everything ready to go and it all goes well. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that all this information has helped you if you're pulling together what you need for your NLV visa for Spain. And yeah, I'll do a whole separate video on what it's been like here trying to sell our home, and maybe some of you can comment on that other video when I post it on some suggestions for us of how we can get that done. We're hoping it all comes together. We get our visas, we get our home sold, and then we've got to figure out how we're going to get Buddy over to Spain with us and get booked in. So that'll be the next big thing, but we'll talk more about that, God willing, when all this comes together. So, all right, keep embracing life, and thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.